conversations. So very good evening, class. Today our topic it is to dominant film paradigm. So we will be understanding this topic. It is an interesting. We had also discussed about on in context of the communications, right? हमने dominant paradigm in context of the communication देखा भी है and development communication के chapter में unit number 2, and here in the unit number 9 also we had to look over on that dominant paradigm in context of the film, right? So what the dominant film paradigm it is basically, and what are the films that has been dominant in the eras that we will be discussing it about, right? So here please look over on it. That is here the we will understanding its terms, defining its terms here. So it prevailing style, convention, and themes that characterize a particular period or the industries in the filmmaking, right? So there are some eras, right, or there are some decades or the periods which is have been defining this particular themes, right? कि इसी जॉनर की फिल्म और इसी पर्टिकुलर थीम की फिल्म जो है अधिकतर बनती थी. किस तरीके की फिल्म बनती थी? That kind of some kind of the melodrama, classicals, right? Some kind of the masala films. So that different kind of the films were made and the themes were the similars in one particular period or in one decade, we can say it about, right? That was basically we can say it about dominant film paradigm. Our structure was framed, okay? This whether you talk it about in context of the that storytelling visual style or the narrative structure that influences the significant portions of film during a specific era. So in a in a specific era, there was there was some kind of the film which were having some same kind of the visual style, same kind of the storytelling techniques, same kind of the approaches were being used. So basically that in that particular period the what the basically the themes were being used and that were dominant, right? So that we are going to understudy. So here dominant film paradigm often reflects the cultural, social, and technological context of its time, right? So there can be different era, different reflections that in terms of cultural, in terms of the cultural, in terms of the technological. So yesterday we had discussed about the parallel cinema, mainstream cinemas, middle cinemas we had discussed, and that we had discussed also over on the some pictures, some films, which is an example of the different kind of the cinemas. Similarly, here also there is a dominant film paradigm where the how the period has shown the dominances, okay, that in context of the technological, in turn context of the social, in context of the cultures, right? So there are some kind of the elements is also which is basically kind of the storytelling visual style and some kind of the narrative structure in the particular period or in the specific period, right? So over the years, Bollywood has witnessed different dominant paradigms. So if we're talking about the example as in Bollywood के example लेंगे हम ती सारी films की, so right, and we'll look over on it that what were the films basically which has created and dominant, right, and that we called as in paradigm, right? So during the classical era, the Bollywood films followed a specific set of the conventions and the themes that shape the narrative and the visual style of the films, right? So and basically audience were very much influenced from that particular films, and they were very much engaged to the content, and they were also following some kind of the elements, right, in the real life as well, right? So here we will look over on some kind of the things, the films like here the melodramatic storytelling. So melodramatic storytelling, that classical Bollywood are were known for their melodramatic narratives, okay, that evoked strong emotions in the audience, right? Strong emotions in the audience. That film often explore the theme of the love, family, sacrifices, social conflicts. So between the 1960 to 70s, this melodramatic storytelling techniques were used in that particular period. So that we are talking about the dominant film paradigm. As an example, here it is about the Mughal Azam and the Kabhi Kabhi. Okay. So this could be seen an example of the melodramatic storytelling. So this kind of the genres were used in particular period which has created dominant, right? So next it is the song and dance sequences. There was a period or the times, right, where more number of the songs were there in order to entertain the public, right? बहुत ज्यादा गाने यूज होते थे. आज की फिल्म देख लो, right? So गाने कम हैं but गाने तो हैं, right, basically. So Bollywood renowned for its elaborate song and the dance numbers, okay, which were an integral part of. आप मिथुन की फिल्म में देख लो, right, whether you talk about the शेरा, चीता, पता नहीं क्या क्या फिल्में थी, right? Whether you talk about the film of the Govindas, right? You will love the music, you will love the dance, right? The dance sequences and the songs, right? So there was an era that basically is providing this kind of the plots to entertain the audiences. So sequence of the various purposes, including the expressing the emotions, advancing the plot, and providing the entertainment. Like here, example, you can take it like the Hasina मान जाएंगी, प्यार किया तो डरना क्या, एक दो तीन. So there are a lot of the songs and dance sequences were there that you would find and some kind of the dominance paradigm, right? In the specific period. Are you getting point, everybody? It is being clear? Chale. Next, it is to understand and go over on that is the larger life characters, right? So what the larger life characters are basically, so that is the Bollywood films often featured larger than the life characters with heroic or the villain traits. So villain or hero, ये दो चीजें main, right? Were being found in a specific period like the 1970s era में आप देखेंगे that in the Sholay, right? The heroism and the that is heroic characters and the villain were basically जिसमें uh, that the villain, who is the villain in the Sholay, right? ये हाथ मुझे दे दो ठाकुर. कौन है villain that you know? Gabbar, right? Yes. So that was a very craze and which created a dominance, right? That is what it's about, the heroism or the larger than the life characters basically, which we call it about. The protagonists were often portrayed as an idealistic, right? So protagonists were often portrayed as an idealistic and strong-willed and the capable of overcoming the challenges. So which we can see in the Sholay, that Amitabh Bachchan characters in the Sholay. Sanjay Leela Bhansali film also larger than the life. Yes, exactly. संजय लीला की बंसाली की सारी फिल्में जो है लगभग लगभग आप देखेंगे उसमें भी लार्जर देन लाइफ कैरेक्टर्स आर बेसिकली वेयर द प्रोटैगनिस्ट वेयर portrayed as an idealistic, right? So that is an important to understand over on. You can say that the film which was of the एक जो रणवीर सिंह की फिल्म है that is what is that? Padmavat, right? Yes. So that is in also you would see that how the protagonists were and the villain heroism that it has been played over on. So that is also kind of the larger than life characters in the Sanjay Leela Bhansali's films that you would found. So there is an example of the Rajesh Khanna's character in an Anand are some kind of the larger than life characters examples. Similarly, you would find in the some specific period or some specific eras in the Bollywood films that the romantic subplots, right? So आप देखेंगे romantic subplots, yes, Gujaris also, ठीक है. Romantic subplots में आप देखेंगे that basically where dramatic relationship played a significant role in the classical Bollywood films where the love stories were often central to the narratives featuring elements of longing and passion and societal barriers, right? So Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, one example, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, one example, right? So this were in the 1990s में आप ज्यादातर फिल्म में जो देखेंगे that basically it's about the romantic subplots were found in that particular eras, right? चलिए आगे, that now it is here the masala formula. So Bollywood films often employed the masala formulas in each and everything. It is included in that the romance bhi hoga, action bhi hoga, comedy bhi hoga, drama bhi hoga, that into a single narrative, right? So this approaches them to cater to a wide audience, provide an entertaining cinematic experiences. So that could be an example of the Dilwale DDLG भी एक इसका example हो सकता है. DDLG is a masala formula film where each and every comedy भी है, action is also there, romance is also there, drama is also there, right? So that is an example that could be understood as a masala formula. So if you look over on the specific period of the Bollywood eras, that you would find some kind of the things, the paradigm like here, the masala formulas, the romantic subplots, larger than the life characters, melodramatic storytelling, song and dance sequences that you would find in the Bollywoods, right? So that is what it's about, the themes which we are being selected in the particular period or in the industries in filmmaking, right? So where various social and the culture technological aspects were being taken in the specific periods and that were creating a dominant, right? So that is an important to understand this all. द पैराडिम्स, इट इज क्लियर एवरीबडी, जल्दी से बताएंगे क्लियर है? यस, रोहित शेट्टी फिल्म्स आर द फुल ऑफ द मसाला, यस एग्जैक्टली। सो बहुत सारे डायरेक्टर्स जो है अपना उसी में हर तरीके की फिल्में बनाते हैं, राइट? सो इफ यू लुक अबाउट ऑन द वेरी सीरियस थिंग्स, राइट? तो केतन मेहता का आपने पिक्चर देखी है, उसमें आपको ज्यादातर देखे, आपने देखा है दैट केतन मेहता पिक्चर्स? हैव यू नॉट हैव, कैन यू गिव सम एग्जांपल? वेरी सीरियस पिक्चर्स आर देयर, राइट? चलिए, so that is an all important things which we had discussed. Now it is an important to understand over on the evolutions of the Indian cinema. Okay. Yes, very good. चलिए, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है आपका, दैट इज यस, केतन मेहता की जो फिल्म की अगर आप बात करोगे तो बहुत सारी फिल्में हैं केतन मेहता की। मांझी द माउंटेन मैन, एज शी हैज शेयर्ड विद अस, राइट? यस एग्जैक्टली। सो मंगल पांडे आप देख लीजिए, सरदार देख लीजिए, बहुत सारी फिल्में हैं, राइट? नेक्स्ट दैट इज यस, मिर्च मसाला एज वेल। अच्छा, एक रिसेंटली द आर्टिकल 15 किसने डायरेक्ट किया है? मूवी आर्टिकल 15, एवरीबॉडी, हु हैज डायरेक्टेड द फिल्म आर्टिकल 15, डू यू नो? बिकॉज क्वेश्चन कैन बी आस्क्ड, राइट? इस तरीके के जो फिल्में होती है, इट इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड हु हैज डायरेक्टेड द आर्टिकल 15 फिल्म विच इज ऑफ द आयुष्मान खुराना। यस, दैट इज ऑफ द अनुभव सिन्हा, ठीक है? तो ये जितने जो है ना फिल्म, इस तरीके का कुछ कुछ फिल्में जो अपने इस टाइप की बनी है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस पे, राइट? वन इट इज ऑल्सो रिलेटेड टू द आर्टिकल आर्टिकल 370, राइट? आर्टिकल 370 जो के नहीं, 370 नहीं है, दैट बेसिकली एक मूवीज है बेसिकली, आई एम फॉरगेटिंग इट अबाउट आर्टिकल 375, यस एग्जैक्टली। यस, दैट आर्टिकल 375 की जो मूवीज है बेसिकली, दैट हु हैड मेड द आर्टिकल 375, दैट इज बेसिकली इट्स अबाउट ऑन द दैट विच हैज बीन पास्ड द गे, ठीक है? रिलेटेड, यस, अजय बहल, वेरी गुड। दैट इज एन ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग, राइट? सो इस तरीके की मूवीज की डायरेक्टर्स आप प्लीज जो है थोड़ा सा आप याद कर लीजिए, क्योंकि क्वेश्चंस पूछा जा सकता है, राइट? सिमिलरली द क्वेश्चंस कुड बी ऑफ द दैट द सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक, सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किसने बनाई? एवरीबॉडी, हु मेड द सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक मूवी, डू यू नो इट? आदित्य धर, ठीक है? सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक, दैट इज यस। सो ये जो इस तरीके की जो मूवीज होती है ना, प्लीज नोट इट डाउन, दिस इज ऑल इम्पॉर्टेंट इट हो, राइट? लाइक एन एज एन केरला स्टोरीज, राइट? सिमिलरली, सो जो कंट्रोवर्सीज फिल्म में हुई हैं और जिन चीज़ों पे दैट इट इज ऑल इम्पॉर्टेंट, इट इज अबाउट वेदर यू टॉक अबाउट द मोहित सोरी पिक्चर्स, ठीक है? और ठीक है, इस तरीके की मूवीज आप थोड़ा सा डायरेक्टर्स नेम का याद रखेंगे। चलिए, नो ओनली नॉट कंट्रोवर्सीज, सम काइंड ऑफ द movies, ठीक है? Because everybody is know na why, because why UGC asks the questions like they have to come, because when film it is in the controversies, everybody is aware of it, right? So if you are aware, then you should know that who is director, right? Because it is not hidden, and everywhere you were used to read the newspapers and watch on the televisions and all, right? So it's that they want that you should at least aware of it, that it was in controversy, and unless and until that that आपको भी फिर भी आपको नहीं पता, even you also that you are not knowing about it, so it is to be known, okay? चलिए, yes, like bandit queen भी आपको पता होना चाहिए। bandit queen की बताइए किसने दिया bandit queen? It is also interesting movie, everybody। bandit queen film, that yes everybody, do you know that? शेखर कपूर, ठीक है? यस, चलिए। So now here the evolution of the Indian cinema. Please look on it. The here the Indian cinema का evolution हम देखने वाले हैं, that as in context of the here the commercial and non-commercial genres. each representing distinct approaches to the filmmaking storytelling. Okay. So commercial cinemas, I think Ayushi is facing the facing in joining the live sessions. I don't know what she is facing. If anybody can help her, ठीक है, अगर कोई help after the classes also, please help her to resolve these issues, because she always finds some kind of the issues in joining the sessions. So I think yes, she is not able to join even after sending the link. So help her and resolve out. Right, I will also try. Chale, the commercial cinema refers to the films that primarily aim to entertain and attract the wide audience. And these films often incorporates popular elements such as like the song and dance sequences, melodrama, actions, and romance. And they are known for the commercial success and the box office appeal, right? So few examples of the commercial cinema in the Indian film industries, right? Which could be at here the Sholay. Okay. So आप देखेंगे कि जब हम कमर्शियल मूवीज की बात करते हैं, नॉन कमर्शियल जॉनर्स मूवीज की बात करते हैं, राइट? सो कमर्शियल सिनेमा वर्सेस नॉन कमर्शियल सिनेमा, राइट? और द कमर्शियल जॉनर वर्सेस नॉन कमर्शियल जॉनर्स. So what the approaches of the film making and the storytelling techniques are. So you would find some kind of the differences, right? So that is basically the more and more songs and the more and more dance, right? More and more masalas you would find there, right? More and more imaginations you would find there, right? More and more melodramas and actions you would find there. Like an example, totally Pathan. पठान जो है पूरी तरीके से कमर्शियल सिनेमास है, राइट? इट इज totally the commercial movies it is, right? That is in order to make success at the box office, and it is about to know the office appeal, right? So this is the example of the Pathan, which we can say about that some kind of the that in order to entertain and attract the wide audience basically of the star power has been used in their commercial, as we had discussed in the mainstream cinema. As I was explaining the mainstream cinema, their motive is to towards to use the star power and get the commercial success and generate more and more revenues and maximize the profits. Okay. And that is also a kind of the box office appeal. Okay. So this is the commercial cinemas, which we can include some kind of the genres like here, that the dance songs, which is more focus, melodrama, actions, and romance, right? So this is what the commercial cinemas which we can take in and out, right? Every like आप देखेंगे out of ten, 7 to 8 movies are the commercial cinemas movies nowadays, right? आपको लगभग out of 10 you would find 7 to 8 movies which are of the commercial cinemas under that the KGF ho, Puspa ho, kuch bhi movies ho. So that is what it is important. Like here the Sholay. Sholay, that directed by the Ramesh Sippy, is a considered and classic in the Indian cinema. It blends elements of the actions, drama, romance, comedy, featuring iconic characters and the memorable dialogues. So that is what here the main dialogues here it is that which has been focused, right? So ठाकुर वाला डायलॉग हो, चाहे वो फ्रेंडशिप वाला डायलॉग हो, राइट? So that is the basically which has been here the action drama romance comedy. So either made it for the OTT or the release in the theaters, that all of the time of the मिथुन as well. Yes, exactly. So आप देखेंगे मिथुन की फिल्मों में भी आप ज्यादातर एक्शंस और रोमांस और सारे कॉमेडी सभी चीजें उसमें मिलती थी, राइट? बेसिकली ईच एंड एवरी एलिमेंट्स दैट यू वुड फाइंड देयर, लाइक ऑफ द गोविंदास आल्सो, the many of the movies, right? Whether it is talk about the Coolie, whether you talk about the Sheena मान जाएगी, सब सारे जितने movies हैं, right? सलमान शाहरुख सब, that all are commercial movies and the commercial actors basically. So same here, दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे, directed by the Aditya Chopra. This also romantic drama exemplifies the commercial genres which combines the romance, family values, comedy, memorable songs, catering to a wide audience. So also which you look over on the that directed by the SS Rajamouli, the Bahubali series, that is epic fantasy films that garnered immense popularity of their grand scale, visual effects, engaging story, that it is also that become the blockbusters and appealing to the audience across the India even. So that is an important to understand that Bahubali series is also kind of the commercial movies where the many more visual effects and the graphics were more focused on it, right? So that is an important to understand the commercial cinemas movies, as you have given some more examples of the Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, Govindas, Mithun's example, right? So these all are here the commercial cinemas movie. Now here to understand about the non-commercial cinemas when we talk it about. So non-commercial cinemas also known as the art cinema or the parallel cinemas, right? So parallel cinema भी बोल सकते हो, right? Which is basically realistic hit is here, or that it deviates from the mainstream or the commercial cinema, right? So it is totally opposite or the alternatives of the mainstream cinemas. So it focuses on the exploring unconventional themes, social issues, social concerns are there which you would find in the realistic films, right? Artistic expressions are there, method actings are there, right? So that is what the films prioritize the artistic integrity and the class critical acclaim over on the commercial success, right? So yes, many more examples it is here that it is about non-commercial cinemas, as you can take it here. That is Pather Panchali, which directed by the Satyajit Ray, Bengali film, right? The masterpiece of the Indian cinema, where a story of a young boy's coming of the is in the rural Bengal and emphasizing realism and the human emotions, right? So that is what it is all example of the non-commercials. As the here Mira is sharing some examples also of the non-commercial movies like the Manji and Tumbad. So here the one more that we early films के बारे में अगर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं हम, तो यहाँ पे प्लीज गांधी जैसी फिल्म जो है कमर्शियल मूवीज नहीं हो सकती, राइट? सो दैट बाय डायरेक्टेड बाय द रिचार्ड एटनबरोugh. So his biographical drama explored the life of the Mahatma Gandhi, a prominent figure in the Indian independence movement, right? So with that blends the historical events with the strong performance and through the provoking narratives, right? So किसने किसने गांधी देखी है? Who have watched the Gandhi picture, right? Anybody who has watched the Gandhi film, you would see there that it is of the biographical drama, right? No, not yet, right? So that many of the historical events have been narrated, right? And basically, because that how the whole about the life of the Mahatma Gandhi it is, right, which was a very prominent figure in the Indian independence movement. So a very strong and method acting you would see there, right? And thought-provoking narrative has been framed and has been structured, which has been depicted in the film. Okay. Similarly, if you take an example that the court, right, which directed by the Chaitanya Tanmhane, this Marathi film examines the Indian judicial systems and the societal issues. It received critical acclaim of its realistic portrait and the incisive commentary, right? So this is the just opposite of the commercial cinemas where the you would say some kind of the realistic approach, social constructs or the social reality, or some kind of the method acting, right? That you would see some kind of the aesthetics of the films that you would see in the characters. So how they generated revenue, see सारी मूवीज देखी, कभी कभी क्या होता है नेम और फेम भी हमारे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, राइट? सो एटलीस्ट आप अपनी लाइफ में कुछ चीजें अगर हमारे पास एज इन समझिए, राइट, आई हैव if I have the black money, right? If I have the black money, what I would do for the that nobody should know that I have the lot of the money. What I would do, कि हम कुछ न्यूज चैनल्स और कुछ न्यूज पेपर्स निकालेंगे, right? I would, yes, I would invest some money in the charity, right? I would some invest in the monies to opening of the new channels, newspapers, where everybody will be aware of it that yes, that he is running a newspapers, he is running a new channels. So that the how you are converting the black into the white money. So there could be one aspect. Other aspect it would be that so like you would see you would see some kind of the films which is basically अगर आप बहुत अच्छे अच्छे डायरेक्टर्स हैं. सो बेसिकली राजकुमार हिरानी की पिक्चर्स ले लीजिए, रोहित शेट्टी की पिक्चर है. रोहित शेट्टी इज दैट बेसिकली देयर पैशन इज टुवर्ड्स इन और मेकिंग ऑफ द मोर एंड मोर कमर्शियल मूवीज, whereas the that you would Rajkumar Hirani की जो बात करेंगे, that the is kind of the different things, right? Like the Three Idiots, which has been made, very blockbuster films it is. So that is also kind of the thoughts it is about, the what basically is the director's things and go for it, right? Like the Kashmir Files, ठीक है. सो आजकल नॉन कमर्शियल मूवीज भी अगर आप बनाते हो, दैट बेसिकली वो भी चीजें आजकल लोग देखने के लिए हैं, राइट? पीपल्स आर देयर, ऑडियंस आर देयर, राइट? सो इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट द रेवेन्यूज वुड नॉट बी जनरेटेड. ओके, इट इज. चलिए. सो non-commercial cinemas often prioritize the artistic vision, narrative depth, and the social commentaries. Their films may not always achieve the widespread commercial success, but are recognized for their artistic merits and influence on the Indian cinemas. One more example it is of the, I think you would find example है Masan. आपने देखा है? If you have seen the Masan, this is also you would find that lot of the audience love these movies, right? So this could be an example to understand that about the kind of the non-commercial movies, right? Yes, exactly. So ये आपका कुछ था जो topics about to understand the commercial and non-commercial movies, what examples could be of it, and that or as well as the evolutions in terms of the commercial and non-commercials. So we'll share some screens and we'll understand some questions. ठीक है, अब कुछ questions करते हैं इससे related, and then we will go for the next topic. Okay. चलिए, it was a black and white film or color film, everybody? Kishan Kanya was a black and white film and the color film. Yes, it was a color film. Okay. Yes. So no, it so Ganga Alamara, that is 19. Yes, 1931. Raja Harishchandra, 1913. And Gangavataran, I think it is 1937. Right? थोड़ा सा आप मेरे को confusion है. Look up on it. गंगावतारन कब आया? Right? इसको देख लीजिएगा. चलिए. Next, it is to go over on the questions that is here. I'm just creating the yes. 1980s. Okay. Chal, please note it down about the Gangavataran also. So 1950s saw the emergence of the three directors trios who choose the following. Everybody, 1950s saw the emergence of three directors. That's the options are. Everybody, please look over on the options and please answer. Everybody. Yes. Right answer here it is. That is who has answered A. Yes, Mira has answered A. So Satyajit Ray, Ritvik Ghatak, Mrinal Sen. Okay. 1950 saw the filmmakers such as Satyajit Ray, Mrinal Sen, Ritvik Ghatak focusing on the lives of the lower classes, and they were the pioneer of the parallel cinema or the alternative cinema in the India. Okay. So please note it down. Okay. Next, that is commercial cinema in India deals with the what particular objective to suffice its economic value. Technical, social, and cultural, mainstream, or the commercial. Everybody. Commercial cinema in India deals with what particular objectives to? Yes, it will be uploaded. Definitely, it will be uploaded. Everybody, जल्दी से बताएंगे कौन सा राइट आंसर है. चलिए, right answer that is here. Yes, that is absolutely. That is the commercial mainstream cinema can be defined as a cinema that is produced for the commercial aspect, right? So particular objective is to generate more and more revenue, right? At the block, uh, that is block box office feeling it is about. Okay. So these are simply an object of the business and are oriented towards the mass. Commercial cinema in India has the rule for the long period of time, but the involvement of the art cinema has made the industries more diversified. Okay. The concept of the angry young man was denoted by which protagonist male character in the 1970s? So without option, you can answer of these questions. Angry young man किससे बोला जाता? Was denoted by which protagonist? So options are here: Rajesh Khanna, Dharmendra, Rishi Kapoor, Amitabh Bachchan. Yes, that the right answer. Everybody has given the right answer. That is Amitabh Bachchan. Okay. Yes. So why the angry young man? So here you would see in the explanations it is written it about because that he challenges the mass, that in terms of the in the rise of the slums and the urban poverties, corruptions, crime, well as the anti-establishment elements. This resulted in the emergence of the identity of the angry young man. This was denoted to the Amitabh Bachchan's, right? Yes, fully film. Which of the following is not a feature of the commercial mainstream cinema? Everybody. Which of the following is not a feature of commercial mainstream cinema? Yes, very good. That the right answer. Many of the aspirant has given the right answer. That is common man as the protagonist is not a feature of the commercial mainstream cinemas. It was in the non-commercial cinema. So during these crucial years, the definitely the evolutions of the Hindi commercial cinema was taking place towards the star systems, right? So successful formula and these features were adopted with the some violations by the all regional commercial cinemas. Okay. So that was all about that we had discussed about the evolutions of the commercial and non-commercial cinemas, and we had also seen the dominant film paradigm, right? So this was all about. We will discuss the tomorrow's about the some next topics. Okay. So thank you to everybody. Thank you so much, and we'll be in the upcoming classes. Take care and stay safe. Good night. Okay.